I've started.
Started?
I'll wait.
Did you get that?
We're recording.
Get away.
Okay. Looking about the table, I see the presence of quorum, so I'd like to call the meeting to order. That said, I'd like Mr. Reverend Jones to lead us in invocation.
All right. And let us pray, please. Heavenly Father, Lord, in Jesus' name, thank you, Lord, for the day again. Thank you, Lord, for, Lord, all your blessings on the town. Heavenly God, I pray to take care of the business in a way that is pleasing unto you and acceptable unto you, Lord. And I pray, God, that we will follow your guidance in everything that needs to be decided, Lord. And God, again, we give you praise and we give you the honor in it all, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen.
Okay, please stand as you're able. Pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Everybody has before them, either in written or electronic form, the minutes of the previous meeting. I'd like to entertain a motion to accept the minutes as presented or to make changes as needed.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? All those in favor of accepting the minutes as presented, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Okay, the minutes stand approved. Okay, next item is citizens' time. So we've got 4 smiling faces. So you all choose between you and come to the podium and introduce yourself.
Well, Mr. Mayor, I have a rare night off, and I wanted to be here, but so I have no citizens' time. I'm just here.
Mike, it comes, we ask him questions.
So that leaves me?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm her moral support.
No, that's all right. We need more of that.
My name's Janie Dean, and I just came to introduce myself. I am the new president of the Friends of the Rural Retreat Library. So I met with Mr. Childers yesterday, and he suggested that I come so you all could put a face behind their name. I'm very new to this, and I just wanted to say on behalf of the Friends, thank you all for your continuing support of our library. We are doing wonderful things there. Not sure if you all are aware, but the house is 90 years old, so there's always something to do with the house. But I just wanted to introduce myself, so thank you.
Tell them that we have Saturday.
Oh, we have Saturday hours now. That's a real big one.
Oh, yes.
We're very thrilled.
My mother was an avid user of the library. She read a lot. And I was glad that it was there for her. Oh, we appreciate that. Okay, with that said, if anybody, we run things a bit loose, maybe that's my fault. I haven't been chastised much for it. But anyway, you can ask questions. A lot of places, they don't want you to open your mouth, but I don't. I'm sorry, I don't think that you need to put your thumb on the back of people's heads. If you want to know something, we're recognizing you can ask. Okay, so that takes us by citizen time. Do we have any correspondence from the town office?
No.
What about correspondence from the council? Okay. We have Derek, he sort of went home early, he stuck at the zoo. So with that said, we have before us Derek's police report, and one of the things he does mention is you know, thank the town crew for all they did for fishing day at the, and if you're not familiar with that, one of our local businessmen donates trout. And then they take a tank and set it up from the fire department, and they haul spring water, put fish in it, and take it to the local nursing home and have the patients fish. And then when they get done, the cook, the cook staff fixes. How many fish did you all take home? They didn't want to fix all of them.
I think they took 84.
Wow.
When's the fish fry? Joe's gone, I don't know.
Yeah, you have to watch Joe. When it comes to wild game, he's a swamp rat from Louisiana.
Joe's on vacation.
He is.
I'm sure he could fix them.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, he's all the time.
We'll never see one of them.
Duck hunting, goose hunting. He used to hunt alligators. I learned a whole lot from him. He said a 10-foot alligator didn't taste good. You need a 5-foot alligator. I sure didn't know the difference. Anyway. Okay.
Monica, was there pictures taken, like Mount Laurel, whatever? I was wondering if you could post those on
I haven't seen any pictures
the.
from
I'm just
that.
wondering. I mean, it's such a great thing. I love to get the word.
I can look, I can try, I usually put some of those up on social media, but I haven't, nobody sent me any pictures this year, so.
I kind of meant to look myself, and I just haven't had that thought. So I just wondered.
No, actually, Facebook is down there. Okay. All right, we'll start down the list. We're just going to do what we can. I asked Mike to put you on the spit just for a little bit. And Monica, if you.
He's got a report in his town manager report, looks like he's got downtown revitalization, the water plant upgrades, and the sewer plant upgrades. If you want to skip those, maybe by the time we get to that, he'll be here. He said he wasn't going to be but about 10 minutes late, so.
Okay. Now, the one thing we can work on is the Dr. Pepper Day. Jim, you got something?
Well, Monica, you want to go first?
I can do that. I had a couple people message me on on the town's messenger, and they were vendors wanting to know if we were going to accept vendors. So there's a food truck. It's a group out of the other end of the county down around Max Meadows, Bits and Bob's. They do hot dogs, nachos, barbecue, walking tacos, that kind of food. And they're interested in coming. And then we had a craft vendor message me. She does laser crafts, and I told her that absolutely we would let her, she could come set up. So we pulled our Heritage Day craft vendor list, and Carolyn sat down today and made phone calls to all the craft vendors from Heritage Day. Within 30 minutes, she had 6 people. So we've got
You're not gonna keep your crowd. The way to do it is have more.
And the Blue Ridge Bobcats hockey team, they're going to come set up and sell some of their memorabilia. Kendra is interested in coming and selling.
Rivers
So,
is coming, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Okay.
So, I mean, I think,
Seriously,
That's great.
I can get a bounce house too if you wanted to do that for the
Well, I
kids.
think the more the merrier. but
For about
like I say,
$200
The only
probably.
thing I'm worried about is people making money. We've tried in the past and they didn't make anything. That's the reason that some of them didn't come out.
yeah, I hope that we make a good stab at this would be a good time to make a decision, not before, but afterwards.
There's also one of the organizations, I don't know if it's Around the Mountain or Arctic Crossroads or something like that, they're having something the same day. And some of the vendors that were here last year went to that, so.
Okay, you got it.
Hopefully, well, I don't think it'll cut into us, but anyway, that's gonna affect things. I got the Tennessee Bluegrass Band to come. They had the number 2 album last year, and I hit them just right. They were traveling through, so I got them for $1,000 more than their asking price.
Do we need to change anything about our advertising? We're actually gonna move.
Well, I also have, there's some car people coming too, that's been in touch, so, I advertise the cruise in, so.
Now, everybody's gonna come to the flat. I hope we.
No, I've told everybody to come to the Dr. Pepper's.
It's advertised at the Pepper stage on Facebook.
Okay, well, maybe we want to get one of the bifold signs or whatever, put up, Dr. Pepper Day down this.
We can put Derek's sign
Derek's
up
sign.
too. We'll put Derek's sign up too.
Yeah. that'd be-
Down this way. Can you stand out there and hold a sign that says that down?
Get him a sandwich board.
Yeah. That'd be good. But anyway, we don't want to miss a soul.
It's a small town, no funds.
If they can't, they got serious problems. Okay. With that said, thank you, Jim.
Thanks, Monica, for her work.
Well, both of you, I mean, this stuff just doesn't magically happen.
Carolyn was really engaged in it today, making those calls to vendors when I was
Well,
there this morning.
Somebody sort of knew at it, the world's a big place. It's nice to have people with a little enthusiasm.
I will say that she has been here a month, and the amount that she can do in our billing system, she's just that young mind. She's got it. She's very on top of what she's doing, and we just keep throwing stuff at her, and you show her, and she just picks it right up. So,
Couldn't be happier.
yeah, she's wonderful.
You have something against old mines?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
They don't pick up like that,
Huh?
like that young mind does. Sorry.
I have to watch, I'm not gonna be able to be too critical.
We better go home there.
We're just gonna just get up and go, huh? Yeah, we can't be too critical about this. Next, if you don't mind, do you have anything to add on, Derek? We know Derek.
Just wanted to let you guys know, I think you have it in front of you. He's had 15 incidents, 2 funeral escorts, 2 wildlife calls, 1 narcotic seizure, 1 disturbance, 1 welfare check, 1 assisted high school with lockdown drill. He's patrolled 1,155 miles. He did want to thank the town crew for the fishing day at the nursing home. I went by there, everybody was engaged that morning getting everything ready. I did not stay because I had COVID earlier in the week, so I stayed away from it this year, even though I hated to because it's one of my favorite days of the year. But once again, it was a great success, and the homecoming parade will be next Wednesday at 6 p.m.
And if you don't mind, Jack, you can start right about the downtown, start at the unfinished business.
Okay. The downtown is the bulk of my town manager's report, because we have a lot going on down there. If you've been by there, you can see that the construction company for the splash pad has completed a lot of their work. Footers have been poured, equipment has been installed, and pipe has been laid. The town did get grant funding in the amount of $50,000 from the With Bland Foundation. I have executed that agreement for the funding, and I did reach out to Travis and their staff and thank them for their generosity. I will tell you, I think they got they had grants of over $4,300,000, I think, and they only had $3.2 million to give out, so this was their biggest cycle yet. So glad we did get some funding for that. We did advertise bids for the playground site and equipment that has been received. They were due by the end of today.
Yesterday.
was it yesterday? We did award $244,770 for the equipment. Anybody have any questions about that? It's gonna be
That was
AstroTurf.
prior approved, right, when we approved that whole thing.
It was improved in the $1 million budget amendment plus the $330,000 cigarette. We did get the concrete contractor involved. There's gonna be some extra concrete work, flagpole, sidewalks, apron around the splash pad, things like that. I don't know if you noticed, but the brick for the downtown building has been delivered. It's down there ready to be installed so that we can get the building and the bathrooms organized. Nathaniel Brown, who was here from Barrington Place, that did do came and talked to you guys. He's going to be in town either late this week or early next week to go over his master plan, which will include lighting and other features that you guys have asked for. So after this week, we should have a pretty good grasp on the whole master plan. He's been very, very good at what he does. He's really helped us out as far as designing, getting us in touch with the right people, and making sure that we have the room and space, and they've done surveying and everything else to make sure that what we had envisioned is going to take place. I commend this council for agreeing to bring him on board to help us with this project. He has been invaluable in my opinion. He's went above and beyond what we needed him to do. The next request for bids will be for the structure to be built in between the splash pad and the playground area. This building will match I put framers, but farmer's market structure, and it can be used as farmer market overflow if we do need it in the future. It's going to go in between the splash pad and the playground for sitting areas for the community, and it's going to match exactly what we already have with the farmer's market, which I think is doing good. Speaking of the farmer's market, we've had some really good farmer's markets here lately. Any questions about anything for downtown?
In this building, are we gonna put electricity?
Eventually, I want to have electricity in all the buildings.
Yes. This needs to be done with this one when it's built.
We've talked about that. There's no reason why it's so close to electricity, and it has nothing to do with the drainage in the middle of the area, that we're gonna have to have electricity for that splash pad area anyway, so we might as well go ahead and get it started and get it plumbed for electricity now. So
Yes.
that's a good question, Bob. I'm glad you asked.
Are we gonna run anything to the farmer's market building, pavilion?
All we're doing, we should.
I mean, if we have somebody on site, I don't know why we wouldn't just include that in the
That's what
contract work.
I'm sure it'll be.
That's one thing we're lacking. That's one reason why, I don't know, I don't consider it a bad thing that we moved Dr. Pepper Day to the Pepper Stage, but that's one of the reasons why we did it, because we didn't have the power to support the sound equipment. And I hope I didn't step on any toes, but I did.
Your stage is better down there too. There's no.
We had, we had considered obtaining a quote for a mural at some point. And I don't know if anybody's been to Independence, but a guy did a spray paint mural of Wayne Henderson as you come into Independence. I don't know if any of you guys have seen it.
That is an amazing thing that he did have a spray can.
It is extremely, extremely impressive what he did. So I hope I didn't step on anybody's toes, but I reached out to Troy Harris, that if we do involve a Dr. Pepper theme in any of our mural, number one, I didn't want to do any copyright infringements. I wanted to know what they would like to have there, and basically they said, the cap with the 10, 2, and 4 is their universal theme. But I also asked him to reach out about funding
Sure.
part of the mural, since we would be featuring Dr. Pepper, which is part of our heritage, but also advertising for Dr. Pepper. So I have reached out for that.
Well, Dr. Pepper can of rosin out on my couch.
Where's
What's
the
that
mural
funny?
at?
That's awesome.
Bob saw it this morning.
If anybody wants to see an example of a mural that is really impressive, look at the town of Clintwood's page,
Their website.
their website. They have a mural that is extremely, extremely impressive. That's all I have for downtown, unless you have something, Mr. Mayor. But once again, I would like to thank the With Bland Foundation. Unfortunately, in the past, we had probably the longest grant cycle in the history of With Bland Foundation. This one should be done within 8 months, so maybe we'll have one of the quickest ever as well. So we'd like to proceed with
Can I
that.
just say something? I know you still got more to say, but just about the downtown. I know we got a lot of momentum, and that's really great. But I know you're flying around a lot. Monica's going above and beyond. I know Mike is too, and the whole town staff. And so I just want to appreciate, thank you guys, because I know you're flying around trying to make this vision that we've had for years work. We finally got the ball rolling. So just, if you could extend that to the staff,
I will.
seriously.
Um,
It means a lot, because I know there's a lot of people that are working for the town right now that are stretched thin because they're flying around trying to take care of this.
I would like to reiterate that Monica and Mike has done a lot of legwork, and I too would like to commend them on what they've done. Mike's been down there through a lot of dealt with the building inspector, along with some others about other stuff about getting permits and everything, and Monica's been in touch with the contractor quite a bit, so I'd like to thank her for what she's done too. So they've really took a grasp of the vision that you guys had set out and we had agreed to, and really taken the bull by the horns. So I reiterate what you said, Sean.
I think part of the revitalization, have you done anything about rebuilding the steps at the caboose?
That's going to be it's going to be included in 3 steps: caboose, community center, Dr. Pepper stage.
Is anything, have we put it
I
out?
haven't put it out for bid yet, no, sir. And that's not something you have to actually put out for bid. I will solicit bids. I'll probably get Ironclad, and some other ones that do that kind of work, that can come look at it and do all that. I'll get on that while we still have good weather now, so.
Yeah, it can still be done this year.
I did have an individual approach me at the farmer's market and said that was the best painting of a caboose. And I think he was pretty familiar with trains. He said that was the
Right on time.
the best done renovation of a caboose that he has ever seen in his looking at trains. He said that's the best one he's ever seen. They really, really did a stand-up job.
Yeah, I've had several comments on that. It looks really good.
Jason, did you check on the lights in it?
There is power in it. We would just have to, I don't know, just find out what kind of bulbs are in it and change them out. But I went by there one night and looked to see where they are and what they would encompass, and I think it'd be a pretty good idea.
It'd be cool to have running lights like that at night.
If we could,
And the lights inside at night, if they were put
Put them
on
on
a
a
timer
timer.
or something where they would put on, that would
For the morning time.
look really nice.
Photo cell,
Yeah,
it turns on,
Yeah.
and the sun goes down, turns off at a certain time.
yeah.
I didn't have this in my report, but I will tell you that, and I see where it's been taken off of unfinished business. But Red Oak did replace this door. They repaired the awning over the drive-through. They did some work to the back door. They replaced the windows at the community center. They replaced the door at the community center with a proper working panic equipment inside. So that has been completed. So they finished the bathroom where we had a leak. So they came in and got it done within the past week or so. So
Community
all that's
center
been
looks
completed.
good.
It does. I was down there.
But I did have a complaint about the location of the dumpster down there.
Okay. I thought that might happen, but I haven't had one yet.
And some people don't know that it's back there. They've carried their own trash off, and that's fine.
Well, we tell them when they rent where the dumpster is, so I don't know why they're doing that.
Well,
because-
it might be the person who had a problem with it wasn't the one that was told where it was.
Right.
But it is kind of inconvenient over there where it is.
Do you think it should be kind of over on the east, northern section?
If it can fit in there,
That would be a my question.
if they can get the truck in there to get to it, or it appears that it's inconvenient, clear over there on the other side of the building.
I think it would be just as well to put it back, if you could, where the other one was at. Is there a problem with that?
Truck can't get
Can't
there.
go there.
I'm sorry.
Can't go there. Be too many bees flying around and that type of thing with the dumpster. I'm sure other people are gonna put stuff in it.
And I'd be afraid,
No way to dump it there.
and I'd be afraid picking it up and putting it down, you'd hit the wall, would be my concern. I mean, we can,
If that's the only place it can go, fine, we'll just have to live with it, but I think we should look at other places.
If you put it on the other side, you're gonna have to put some stone down, a few things like that. And you got the walking track, people's gonna be walking by it every day, that type of thing.
So be it.
Okay. And have you heard anything about the Heritage Day, the group, have they not sent any more? Oh, this Revelation may turn upside down, it's awful early to expect it. Okay. That takes us up, we reached the water plant, have you looked?
still waiting on I saw where Mike had reported at the last meeting, and I apologize for my absence, but I figured you'd rather me stay at home than bring what I had in here. The town is still waiting on the coal to be delivered for a CIP cleaning. I think I'm probably going to have an electrician come in and just monitor everything temperature-wise while we do the CIP cleaning. That is something that is possible. I've talked to the operators, and I've talked to the electrician that would be involved. All he would have to do is stay there and monitor the temperature as it goes through its cleaning cycle. Because we did order the heating coil that we would need a week or so ago, and it's 17 to 19 weeks back order. So we can't wait that long for a cleaning. I did call the company and ask them to try to expedite as much as they possibly could. He said he would. What that means, I cannot tell you, but I will tell you that we need something done sooner rather than later, and I think that we'll just get the electrician to come monitor the load as we go through the cleaning and make sure that it doesn't get, if it starts to get hotter than it needs to, we can shut it off and then restart it and continue. We will get through the cleaning. We just don't want to cause any damage while we're doing the cleaning. And as long as he's there monitoring the situation as far as voltage and things like that go, we can get by to get through the cleaning. But I think that's what we're going to have to do.
Explain to me exactly what goes into that.
It's something that we only use when we do a cleaning. There's part of that water plant that is only used when we clean the filters. What we do is we put in something called MemClean, which is an acid type thing, and then we use some other caustic acids to go through. It goes through the system, it's heated up and cleaned and goes through a tank. then it's pumped directly into the filters. It cleans out all the filters. It's designed that the filters can withstand it. Then after that cleaning's done, it flushes everything out and goes to an outside manhole. At that point, we have to add muriatic acid in order to drop the pH before we can legally, through DEQ, put it into the stream. Am I leaving anything out, Mike? It does, like I said, it uses pipes that are only used during this time. And in the past, we've had blowouts in these pipes. We had a situation, the mayor can attest to it, where we were doing a cleaning and it busted out and muriatic acid got all over Mike Wayland's legs. We immediately got him to the wash station and cleaned him off. But to answer your question, it's things that are only used once or twice a year. So it's kind of like, in my opinion, it's kind of like a car that only gets driven twice a year. But that's the only thing we can use it for. And, you know, it's an important part of what we do, but it's part of the system that is designated only to be used when we do a cleaning to clean out those filters. And once you clean those filters, it dramatically increases the amount of water you can produce. So say right now we are producing 254 gallons per minute to the tanks, which is keeping up right now. Once we do the cleaning, we can probably up that by 15 to 20 gallons per minute. So it just gives us the opportunity that if something happens and we get a bad leak somewhere or our water tanks drop for some reason, we can fill up a lot faster, and our water, although we've never failed a test in our water, it keeps it fresh and clean.
And how often is this done?
They basically have been doing it once a year because, number one, our samples come back very well, and number two, we've really never had a problem with getting the volume that we need. But I've talked to our operators, and we think we need to utilize that twice a year. Now, it does take at least one operator there all day, and if something happens, there's how many steps? 14, 15 steps in it? There's 14 or 15 steps that you have to actually be there to go through. If one of those steps fails, you have to start over again. So it could be a thing where they're there till midnight, but it's got to be done. Once it gets started, it's started and can't be stopped. So, or no, it can be stopped, but it has to be completed. So, upgrades. Oh yeah, one more thing on the water. I reached out to, and I had kind of touched on this in the past. I reached out to our current company that maintains our water tanks, and they want to charge us $16,000 a piece to pressure wash the tanks. And then I also reached out to a separate company, and to my surprise, they wanted to charge us $30,000 for the 500,000 gallon tank and $28,000 for the smaller tank. I actually had a young man come in and said that he had noticed our tanks and left me his card. I reached out to him. He said that he could rent a lift for, I think he said $1,500 a day, but he's going to give me a quote. It's going to be much, much cheaper to have this individual do the work than what we would be paying these larger companies to do. And I think that should be, you know, we can do away with that on our contract and just get this individual on a 2-year basis to come in and take care of this for us. There's something about the bottom of those orange tanks up there. I don't know if the sunlight, it doesn't get the sunlight that the rest of it gets, or
They sweat and stay moist and the algae grows on.
But I was hoping that we would be able to put that in our service agreement, and we can put it in our service agreement. But to me, that's too much to pay for pressure washing. When, you know, we can probably get a local individual that is going to do just as good a job for much lower cost.
That doesn't take an engineering degree to do.
Upgrades to the sewer plant. The metal the metal parts that I talked about, the arm and everything, have been replaced in the clarifier, and the town is ready to put the second clarifier online. So they were here last week and got the prefab equipment in and started welding, and a part on his welder went bad, obviously, because we're involved. So he went, got the part, got it fixed, and he has repaired all the stuff in the clarifier. So we're finally able to put that clarifier back online.
So is that online now, or?
We're ready to fill it up. I think he's got one little pipe to weld back in. Didn't want anybody to feel like, and I wish I would have said something to have it reported last week. But we did get fined, a civil fine through DEQ. And I will tell you, there's been a change in DEQ structure as to how they work. For at least past 10 years, everything was handled out of the Abingdon Regional Office. It is now handled at the Virginia Beach level. So we were fined approximately $7,600. Number one, for some samples that didn't meet their requirements from DEQ after a heavy rain event, and another was for a report that was done late. They changed the way the report was submitted, and didn't communicate, or they didn't get the message down there that they had changed the way they communicated it. I did appeal their decision and got it dropped by 30%, but they're going to put in a public hearing. You may see it. They'll put a public hearing in the paper, just advising that we had a civil fine against us. And then they will send us an invoice probably toward the end of October to pay that fine. In the past, I would say in the past 10 years, they would have more than likely waived this fee and let us use it to use that money to help rectify the problem instead of fining us. But this time they did decide to fine us, and it came from the Virginia Beach location in DEQ. So didn't want anybody thinking that I was trying to.
I don't see how we could use the money to rectify this situation. If I'm reading this right, we failed to submit the survey to them in a time frame that was specified. Is that one of the reasons we were fined?
Yes, sir.
Did we not send the survey out? Did we?
We didn't get fined for you talking about the industrial user survey?
Yes, it said
We did not
failed
get-
to submit the survey.
We did not get fined for that. We got fined for the samples and the not putting in the report on time.
The survey.
The survey that was supposed to have been done at the sewer plant was not done on time, no, sir.
And the survey wasn't submitted on time.
The survey we did not get fined for the survey. You're talking about the
I'm talking about the
industrial user survey.
Yeah, I'm talking about the second page of this
Yeah,
thing.
we did not get fined for that. I talked to him. That was not in the reasons we got fined.
But we were wrong there.
Well, in that situation, we sent out the surveys. Klockner was the main one on the survey.
Who else was on the survey?
No, just Klockner, because they're the ones, if something's gonna happen to our system, they deem them the ones that have the capability of really doing damage to our sewer plant.
Okay.
Because of the different chemicals they use, and that they could just dump down the drain if they see fit. So the survey was mailed by Brenda, and had plenty of time. She mailed it. It never got to the individual that it was supposed to get to. I called Mr. Doan, which we've talked about him before, and he said it was in England somewhere, that they sent the mail to England or wherever, and he never got it. So I sent it directly to him. So then DEQ calls me and says, you know, it was not done on time, we have not received it from them, and I personally went down there that day, and I asked him, I said, what's our options? I asked DEQ, I said, what is our options here as far as enforcing them? And they said, well, really, you just have to stay on them hard about it until finally they give up the deal. So I made a personal visit down there twice to Chuck Doan. He got on the phone, got the information from Gordonsville of all places, which I thought they weren't the place to go anymore. They gave him the information, he filled it out, got it to me and sent it to them. Now, I talked to him about the civil fine, and he said that that there was no fine for the survey, the discharge survey from the industrial users. The fine was for the improper samples that came back, which you have the numbers there, they're pretty high, and the form not being filled out in a timely fashion down there. I can have him send it.
Down at the plant.
Yes. And that has been addressed with the operator.
So we don't have to pay anything until we get a letter back from them and it's been advertised in the paper, correct?
They'll send us an invoice.
But we still have to pay that
Yes, ma'am.
76.
Well, it's decreased by 30%, so they did decrease it.
That's the first time this ever happened.
Under my watch.
Them the same people that pulled Jim's haircut license.
Really?
The only reason they pulled it's because I called them.
Well, that was, I'm just messing. I'm messing with
Don't
Jim
try to be
Moore.
honest.
When did they do that?
Recently. I gotta take the test.
Really?
Yep.
No wonder I can't get it. Do you want one now?
Bootleg cuts.
When I go tell them, I should have said that I was just messing with you. All right, go ahead, Jason.
Some of the other things that I didn't put on my report, but I did want to talk about is, had an individual from AEP, local guy, come in today, and I had noticed that the lights were getting replaced here and there in certain areas, and they were LEDs. I've seen several of them in parts of town. And he said that they finally have given them the okay to go ahead and start putting these types of lights in, even though they're not giving them any direction on how much power, as far as lumens to put in each location. So he said some of them are maybe too bright for some areas, some may be too dim for some areas. I haven't heard any complaints about that. They are quite a bit brighter than the amber lights. And I also reached out to the individual with AEP that is responsible for the Richfield. I have been by there and I noticed that they've set a stake out where the pole's going to go. But I did reiterate that I would really, really, really hope that they would have this in before Halloween, because that's really the day when we hear about that area, because it connects. There's a lot of trick-or-treaters on Sherwood, there's a lot of trick-or-treaters on Westfield, and that right there connects all of them. So, I did send him a text message today and said, I don't know where we are on this. I know that it's been staked out, but I'd like to have it done before Halloween, because that's the main concern and one of the main reasons why people complain about that area is is that time of year and that specifically that night.
If it's not done by Halloween, could we consider maybe asking the fire department to put the equipment truck down there
We
with
can
the
do that.
lights on it?
We can do
To
that.
light up that holler down there.
We can do that. I think David would be fine with that.
Yeah.
But I hopefully it won't come to that point. Hopefully they'll come through with what they said. And I know that it's a project that has been put in their queue to be done. Because they've sent me pictures, they've staked it out. It's a stake with a red ribbon on it. So I know that they know about it, it's on their radar. I would just like to have it done before Halloween so that we don't have any accidents in that area, because it does connect to highly trafficked areas on Halloween.
And if, for some reason, the fire department is somewhere else or they can't do it, we could always rent a light man.
We don't have anything, we really like that up, do we? We've got those little orange pole lights, but
Yeah, but, yeah, we could rent some. If it comes down to it, I would have to do nothing.
Water accountability went up a little bit, as you have in front of you, Mr. Mayor. At this point, I think I had seen where Sean had wanted to have a committee meeting about this. Do you know when you'd like to have that?
We've got
You
to
want-
talk to the gentleman from
I
the
can.
job.
You want me to reach out to him? Is it?
Right.
Is
Just
it?
see what's good for him.
Okay.
and take it from there.
It's going to probably be better during the day, so I'll try to work with everybody on that committee and make sure that we can get it at a time that's convenient for everybody, so that it would be during the day, and listen to what he's got to say.
His one's got to go the furthest, so,
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
yeah.
We are going to have to pay some money for some insertion valves to be in, and did you order them? They've already been approved to be ordered. It's going to be through Core and Main. We did get a couple quotes. They're quite expensive, about $8,000 or $9,000 at least a piece. One is going to go in up here at the 300,000 gallon water tank. That valve is faulty at this point. The only way to replace this valve is with an insertion valve. And when I say insertion valve, I mean you put the valve in while the water's hot, while it's still running through. You can't cut it off and drain it, because you have to cut the whole water plant off, and it would affect both water tanks because they feed off of each other and equalize off of each other. So that one's gonna have to be an insertion valve where they come in and they do it hot. What size valve is that one?
That's an 8-inch.
It's an 8-inch. And then we're also gonna have one on Ganal down near the trailer court. And I feel like that may be part of our water accountability problem. Because all of those meters, all of those trailers are on individual meters that are metered and fed and billed by the owner. So what I'm saying is we have a master meter outside that tells us how much water goes into it. Then he reads his own meters. They're not we bill him a bulk, and then he goes and bills his individual tenants as he sees fit. I don't know what his policy is, none of the town's business. But that meter is not working, and we have been, what's the word I'm looking for? Estimating what we think their usage has been based on their past readings. Well, they have more homes in there now than what we've had. So we're not getting a apples to apples number off of that meter as to what we've had before. Does that make sense?
So if I understand correctly, I'm circling around, but does he know how many gallons they use? Each individual trailer, each individual user?
He does.
So we can't get that number to say, this
Not
is
on
our
our,
estimate?
not in our meter.
I know, not in our meter, but we reached out to him
There was all kinds of
for
problems.
our estimate.
When they set that up with the town,
Am I thinking?
there was all kinds of problems connected with that. It didn't have sundown laws on discounts. there was a lot of trouble with that. And no, they're not gonna,
Mommy, can you explain it a little bit better?
No, I think I got it, but I'm just saying, if he's having an individual, if he's saying trailer A uses, let's just say 50 gallons, trailer B uses 100 gallons, then when we do our estimate, we not reach out to him and figure out what he's billing them and get, okay, all the sum of that is 1,500 gallons.
Well,
Am
I would-
making
I would-
sense?
I would-
Understand that?
I would venture to say, and I would almost promise you, well,
I agree, Justin.
I know
I know what you're
exactly
gonna
what,
say.
yeah.
He's making money on the water that we're selling.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
yeah, I'm not gonna say what was in my mind to say.
I got you. I saw it coming.
I'll imply it.
Thus, we need the vow.
Yes, sir.
You've got two, fire hydrants down that in town. One of them's got a bag over it. Is there any plans to fix that right away?
Ordered the parts to replace it. I'm not gonna replace the hydrant, I can replace
The guts.
the guts in it. That's American Darling, I called Ferguson, and the parts are ordered for.
Also,
About Gerald Hall's fire hydrant.
I was getting ready to bring
The
that
parts
up.
are ordered for that also.
I was called, midweek last week, maybe toward the end of the week. An individual, a company, hauling something to a resident over on Griever,
Concrete.
concrete truck. Ran over our fire hydrant and drug it all the way down to the Baptist church and discarded it in their parking lot. So,
My goodness.
I figured out who it was, and I called the company and told them that I would be billing them for it. And they sent people up to take pictures, and the individual told them he had ran over a stump, but it was a
Iron stump.
big red metal stump.
They have a
but-
sign out there now, drivers wanted.
Do they?
Yeah.
The term that comes to my mind is stern wheel.
I was afraid of that, but they did come
In
down.
front of you like that, you gotta watch them.
I took pictures, I sent it to them, they came down, took their own pictures. They did break it off at the top level of the hydrant,
Well,
so.
they're sheer, they have a sheer point, don't they? I mean, that's what they're supposed to
They're
do.
breakaways.
Breakaways, that's the word.
And he had pushed it so much that where you turn it, it had ground it into a sharp piece. And there's marks going down the road, and then it was just laying over in the church parking lot. So, but they did come down and say, this is our fault. And I was like, yes, sir, it is. So, they'll be reimbursing us for repairing that fire hydrant.
How's the water project on Kinder Valley doing? They about done?
No, they're not about done. It'll be another probably month or so. They've had a little problems with different things, elevations, getting some parts.
They found a water line that nobody knew was there. So,
You usually do find them and
Surprise.
and it was hot.
And then when they, so they had, of course, and Crockett said, wait a minute, I'll bring it to the top of the ground here for you. Just hang on there a minute.
It was one of
Let's
those.
go get his book.
It was one of those things where we had a meter and a water line, and we knew we had that meter and that water line, and it went in the house and came back out and then teed off and went across the road to a barn, and we didn't know that they had teed it off and took it to a barn, and it's
And it's coming down to the slow point now because they will be digging beside a live water line the rest of the way.
what, 2-3 inches. It's not far apart, right?
What's that?
The water line and where we're putting,
Yeah, they're gonna be digging right beside it.
so. But yes, it is ongoing. So, you talked about Dr. Pepper Day? So, conditional use permits. I sent you all some information about the conditional use permits. I had reached out to some of our surrounding localities, and some of them are, they vary a whole lot in the cost of conditional use permits. It varies from $25 to $800. Some localities, I think, charge a lot of money just because they don't want to deal with a lot of conditional use permits. I don't know if that's the reasoning or if it does cost that much. Some of them, it's $25 and they're losing money on advertising. I will tell you, at this point, if we get a conditional use permit, it's $35 flat fee, and then they pay for any registered letters that we mail out to any adjoining property owners. Right now, it used to be more. Right now, it's probably no less than, what would you say, $180? $180 every time we have to advertise a conditional use permit. So right off the top, we're losing $145. And then, we do have the cost of the letters if they're sent. Brenda, which I agree with, a lot of times, if it's in an area that we know the neighbors, surrounding neighbors are in town and they live here, we'll just get Derek to deliver them. And we can do it that way to save us and them money on having to do registered letters. So Derek will take it out, have them sign that they received it, and then we'll bring it back. But I reached out to VML regarding this situation. Number one, there's also another charge involved, and that is the cost of having the planning commission members here for a meeting. That, I was told by VML, is a service that is paid for by the town to the citizens. That cannot be asked to be reimbursed to the town. That is a cost that the town has to provide. And I asked her, what her experience was. She advised that it's safer, instead of just putting a flat fee, because you never know when it's going to be over or under that cost as far as advertising, that we make it a point, and I can write this up and get it to you and put it in the public hearing that we need to do for the homeless ordinance and for the changes we made to the conditional use permit stuff. That the property owner requesting a conditional use permit, something to this language, would have to pay any and all advertising involved in obtaining the conditional use permit and any and all mailing and postage involved in holding the conditional use permit proceedings. That's what she advised. That way we could get a receipt of what it cost us to do the advertising, and then we could show a receipt of if or any, we had to mail any certified letters that cost the town any money. That's what she recommended. Now, whether you all want to do it that way or you want to set a set fee, if you do want to set a set fee, with that being said, you're looking at $170, $180 off the bat for advertising. Then you never know what the certified mailings would be.
So we're already at $200 and more.
Right now, we're losing $150 to $160 every time we do a conditional use permit.
What kind of action you need to speak this along?
Mr. Mayor?
Let's answer this question. You happen to hold that thought. What kind of action do you need?
Direction.
The action I would like to have is whether you would like for me to revise the ordinance saying a set fee, and if so, what is said set fee? Or if you'd rather have me do as VML directed and leave it that the property owner requesting the conditional use permit will pay for any and all advertising and mailing and postage that is involved in the process.
Okay, I'll make that move and go with VML's advice.
I'll second that.
Okay?
So do we vote on that, since it's gonna be kicked to the planning commission?
It's not gonna be kicked to the planning commission. I asked her that question too.
Okay.
She said planning commission is in no way involved in this because this is a policy that council.
I got you.
I specifically asked that question as well.
Okay, excellent.
Okay.
Great.
What's the motion?
Now, before, Amy, is what you're gonna ask plus or minus through this?
Yes, sir.
We'll go ahead and answer while we can make a motion, I mean, we can act on our motion. Go ahead and ask your question.
My question is, if I understand this correctly, that one of the options is a fee, and the other is that if a property owner is going to want or need a conditional permit, that that property owner will pay for what it costs to get it?
Any advertising or mailing that the town incurs in cost. Yes,
Is
ma'am.
there any consideration if the property owner doesn't have that money to pay for it?
It's just like their water bill. I mean,
Okay.
it's something, if they want bad enough,
Okay.
they're gonna have to come up
It's
with
the
the
price of
money.
doing business. Okay.
So your motion is we're gonna have a fee, an initial fee of something. Right now, that fee is $35, correct?
My motion was to go with BML's advice.
Okay.
Of exactly the terminology that they had. And if you guys vote on this, then I'll just change the ordinance, set up the public hearing
Fee, yeah.
for the next meeting, and we'll do, in one public hearing, one advertisement, we'll do the changes that we made to the ordinance, we'll do the fee for the conditional use permit, and we'll do the homeless ordinance that Derek had brought before everybody. That way, we're doing three things in one advertisement.
Monica, do you have a motion?
So, a motion was made by Councilmember Lloyd, seconded by Councilmember Jonas, to go with the advice from VML regarding the cost for a conditional use permit. Is that what we're saying?
All right.
I can help you word that.
Is
You might have to
anybody-
fill that in with
Yeah,
what the advice was.
I can.
okay. Is there any more discussion? That's what, we had a motion second, we did it right for a change. Okay, all those in favor of the motion as read, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign.
And I hate to go backwards, Mayor, but another thing I just wanted to report on. We had a meeting with the contractor that's doing the Kinder Valley Loop, VDH, and our engineer last Thursday, I think. And if there is any money left over, we're going to see, and VDH seemed to think that this would be appropriate, to go ahead, and this is a rough drawing of it, but we had talked about, and we had already ordered the parts because we had surplus in last year's budget, of going ahead and replacing the water line around Mr. Bear and Mr. Jonas and where Peggy Hash used to live, because they're having trouble with some pressure right now. We went over everything, and she thinks that any leftover money that we have from that project could go toward this project as well. So we're looking at getting this one bid, and see if we can't get it out to have it done. I'm not sure how we're gonna have to bid it out. That's gonna be through VDH, because we are gonna be using some federal grant funds. But if anybody does get asked about that area, and what's the name of that street? I can't.
Locust.
Locust. I can never.
Locust.
If anybody does ask about if there's anything going on with that situation, yes, we do have. We have the valves, we have the hydrant, we have the water line, because we bought it in last year's budget in preparation for this. But we are looking to get some funding after this Kinder Valley Loop project to go forward with this one and get everybody taken care of, because I know specifically Mr. and Miss Bear, I think they have significant water pressure problems. So. Do you have water pressure problems?
Oh. Not gonna go home.
It's cause you're using all the pressure before it gets to them.
Okay. Jason, you've done, caught up pretty good. Do you have anything else to add on unfinished business?
I've already passed new business.
I know that. I want to make sure that we don't get caught.
Go ahead.
So we can look forward to a public hearing prior to our next meeting on those 3 items.
Our next meeting will open with a public hearing on those 3 items.
Kenny,
Finance and appropriations is next, but I'm gonna go ahead and just jump ahead.
Well, I need to say something.
I know, but I'll come back to it.
Okay.
Personnel, like she said, Carolyn's doing a really, really good job. But I haven't heard anything but positive things about Blaze.
Doing great.
He's jumping in, doing everything. First day, you had a water leak, that y'all were out till what time?
8:30.
8:30. So his first day, he got a water leak, and I asked Mike the next day, I was like, well, how did he do? And he said, well, he'll use a shovel, so, but he's,
And he come back the next day.
so he is, he's working out just fine. Young fella, not the biggest guy in the world, but you know, he jumps in there and is doing what's expected of him, so.
I think he's working well with everybody else.
So, and sorry, I didn't mean to jump in front of you.
I was just going to report that I received the personal property tax book today, and we were a little concerned. The county's having some issues again with their software. But we did get the personal property books today, and he said he hopes to have the real estate books to me by the end of the week. So looks like we're going to be on time this year. We won't have to change our due dates. And at the next meeting, we'll vote on the PPTRA discount.
Any movement on this?
I've almost got all of those collected. I can report on that at the next meeting too, but I'm pretty sure all of those are collected, except for one that's gone out of business. And another one is negotiating whether he needs a license or not.
okay? That's committee reports. The town manager's report
I've
has been
covered,
covered.
unless you guys have something for me.
Yeah.
I will say I did reach out to the individual that has the car parked down here. Again, and he stated that he came up here to get the car and haul it off and could not find the keys, but he said he has since found the keys and it'll be gone soon. I'm really hoping Derek will hand deliver him a written notice in the next day or so.
Property owners cut the grass last week.
I talked to the property owners and they said that he had agreed to do it the next time, and
And go get hard taste.
Ben, you talking about that car park, what about the sign?
the sign is, it's a situation where I'm gonna have to send some property owners a letter that I feel like, I'm not gonna say.
Well, always keep in mind, you're not in business to make everybody happy. And sometimes it just,
But I feel like I'm taking it out on the people that
well,
But they know,
if the shoe fits, wear it, you know, I'm sorry.
what's being
Okay.
done about the, I'm sorry.
No, that's
What's
fine.
being done about the car wash down there? Last time we went by, just trash was just, somebody didn't do their trash.
I mean, he took the trash cans out for a reason. I mean, they've been gone for 3 or 4 years because what really pushed him over the edge is he got robbed one time of several $1,000s. And from what I understand, I'm not gonna say privately, but he's going around trying to get somebody to buy that place. I'm not gonna speculate, but
It's currently not functioning. He's got traffic cones in every bay. It's closed.
I think that he's just lost the effort that he once put into it. But as a town, I don't know. I mean, it would be like me telling Parkway they have to do something. I mean, I just,
Also, Larry almost got run over the other evening trying to walk across the crosswalk
Oh,
where at?
at the bank. Not the bank, the
Drug store.
pharmacy.
That's a
We
terrible
got to
idea.
do, I mean, he loves getting out and walking.
I know, I see him a lot.
And he said he guaranteed that they were doing 45 miles an hour. Didn't even attempt to even slow down.
Well, I will say this, crosswalks have been an issue ever since I became town manager. And at one time, we tried to help the problem, we put those signs in the middle of the road.
they ran over them
Well-
and destroyed them.
And I'm being literal when I say this, these guys in these old trucks that they just didn't care about, they would hit these things on purpose. How many times did we go out and they'd be destroyed? I mean,
We may have to get Derek to hide, and one of the best learning experiences I ever had about speed limits was tickets that I had to pay. I learned to slow down, and I've gotten too old to drive fast now.
Is there not any like?
Well, I watch him,
Caution light or?
I watch him, what he's talking
That ain't
about.
gonna slow them down. If they gonna drive that fast,
They just-
until they get.
So they just don't care.
They're gonna do it.
I see it every day up there.
Yeah.
They need to get some fast driving awards.
There was a tractor trailer came into town today. If he was moving, he was doing 50 mile an hour coming down by Harpo's Hardware there. And that is ridiculous that they've got those, engine brakes on in town. That is, the hills that's in this town. If you've got to have your engine brake on to stop that truck, your brakes are not good, they need to be fixed, and they're going too flipping fast. I've driven the things. Now,
And Larry says you do not need those J brakes.
Well, no,
Not the
absolutely
not in that town of Rose Creek, no.
No,
It's ridiculous.
they're supposed to be going slow.
I'm kidding my buddy.
I'll get with Derek and say, we need to see some lights on. People need to see some lights on.
The crosswalks, I mean, yeah, I've noticed, I've seen them, people running back out of the crosswalk because people won't stop.
Actually, if they're standing in the crosswalk on the walk, you're supposed to stop.
And that's what he was.
Yeah.
Well,
mad.
And I agree with you.
That's state law, that's not rural retreats law.
Another thing that makes that specific one so dangerous, well, there's several things that make it specific one dangerous, is when they're coming over the hill and coming around the curve. But there's a crosswalk going this way, and there's a crosswalk coming this way too. Not only is there one going across Route 90, but there's one coming across Buck Avenue that meets in a point right there. So, you know, if they're not faced, it gets confusing for people. They don't stop coming off of Buck, and they don't stop coming off of Route 90. So if you're in that corner, you're in the danger zone, because it's a,
Several years ago, we addressed the jailbreak issue too. We were told at the time there wasn't nothing we could do about it.
You really
There
can't.
are cities and towns that have an ordinance. I don't know how they got it.
Well, that's a
I
question.
think we need to talk to Derek about that, because Damascus has the signs. And I think somebody took Damascus to court, but they still have the signs, but it's not enforceable for some reason, because it went to court. But Derek would know.
I think he has brought that up. We've talked about this before, but it's totally ridiculous.
Bob, you remember the one, I remember when it come years ago.
Yes.
Raymond was town manager.
Yeah,
it specifically says, no, does it say engine brake or jake brake?
No,
it says engine brake.
engine brakes, that's the generic term.
Like there's one in Atkins, there just before you get to the intersection with the Exxon station down there. So it's a private one, somebody has put up no Jake brake use, no engine brake use, but I don't think it's an enforceable law.
That's something we'll look into. So, but you don't know if it's enforceable or not?
I don't know, Derek would have information on it.
Well, when I was leaving the town office today, there was a truck came off the hill and flying.
I hear from mine.
Oh, yeah, well,
I assume, because I know we're only a one-man show as far as police officer, but we could probably reach out to our county and see if they could patrol a little bit more for us.
Well, I have noticed, and
Just saying.
a few months ago, I found out the hard way that they're patrolling more here.
I do too.
They sit up at the cabinet shop, and they back in up there, and your local town manager got a ticket. Not for speeding or Jake brake, but I did not stop at a stop sign, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know that I've ever stopped at that Chinky Pin stop sign unless there's something coming.
Bet you do now.
Every time. But you're right. Once you get that ticket,
It does.
it makes a difference.
Teaching
But,
method.
but I have seen several nights that they're backing up into the cabinet shop, and you think it's just one of their vehicles sitting there for the operation of the business, and then he had me before I ever got to Harpo's Hardware, and I pulled that Chinky Pin, so. And then I went to get gas and came back, and he had somebody else pulled over in Pizza Plus, so they're here more than what you think they are.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, I have a complaint. Today in the grocery store, a lady approached me, that one of our senior citizens, who was at Parkway Gas yesterday. And driving to Parkway Gas, she observed a dead groundhog in the road. While she was getting gas, she observed 2 town trucks go up the hill past Mike Sobey's house in the other lane from where the groundhog was. She wondered why town trucks with town employees in them drive by dead animals in the road.
It's a good place to ask a question like that.
It is. I've spoken to Mike about it, and I think that there should be a policy that if a town employee in a town vehicle observes a dead animal in the street, they need to stop picking it up.
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
The lady was upset that when she went back up the hill, somebody had ran over it again,
And it splashed it.
and its guts were in the middle of the road. And her 5-year-old granddaughter was upset about that also.
Yeah. It's in front of the right people right now.
I think there needs to be a policy that they pick them up. I'm sure.
I don't think there should be a policy. I think that's just common sense and.
Yeah, it
direction.
is, but if they're not doing it, maybe we need a policy.
Maybe we can just give them a little direction instead of writing up a policy.
Yeah,
Okay?
we
That's
will,
all I'm saying.
we will be given direction.
I'm sure most of those trucks have got a shovel in them, and all they need is a plastic bag.
If not, they're no more than 3 miles at any point from the town shop.
Yeah. That was a complaint I had this week. No others. Yeah.
Okay, Monica, we'll go. When you get done typing, would you do your report?
All right, we wrote these checks. BMS Direct, $600, BMS Direct, $470.78, Break Speed, $957.58. C&D Truck and Safety Supply, $119.68. Centos, $595.91. Daisy and Nate LLC, $46,284.51. Department of Environmental Quality, $3,523. Electronic Systems, $39.90. Fort Chisholm Septic Service, $6,200. Hurt and Profit, $600. Joint Public Service Authority, $1,627.50. Justin R. Funk, $675. Lincoln Financial Group, $287.20. Principal Financial Groups, $236.34. Red Oak, $23,041.90. S&S Electric Motor Service, $4,150. State Electric Supply, $57.73. The Lane Group, $8,025. That's a total of $98,192.03. Any questions?
Small one.
Daisy and Nay, that's the contracting company that's doing the Kinder Valley Loop. So,
Okay, leave it like that. Sit down.
I've got one more thing for you all to think about. I was looking through the calendar today, and Tuesday, November 11th will be a council meeting night, and that is Veterans Day. So I didn't know if you would want to still have that meeting. Of course, the town employees will be off that day, but I don't know that that's ever happened. We don't have to do anything about it tonight, but if you all just think about what you want to do if you want to dispense that meeting or.
Let's do it now. I move we dispense with that meeting due to the holiday.
Second.
Third.
Did we get a second?
And a third.
And a third, that's what you said. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. We are still in session.
Did you doze off there, Tim?
Yeah, I did, I was snoring.
and I will
I
let
move
y'all.
we adjourn.
I will let y'all know one more thing real quick, and then I think that the the Legion is not going to do. I think I'd reported on this. They're not going to do Veterans Day like they have been in the past on Sunday. They're going to do just a memorial on Saturday for Memorial Day and Veterans Day because they all want to go to the event. I think it's at the VFW in Marion that they have a big event, if I'm not mistaken. They all wanted to attend that, and we were really getting, our presence there was getting very small. So they're going to do their proceedings on Saturday and lower and put the flags up accordingly. But they will be having that on Saturday from now on, and then so they can attend the bigger meeting in Marion. So
That's
Now that Dallas has passed, who's doing the wall thing down there now? Is the town taking care of that, or who's?
I'm not sure. I can ask
Yeah, We
Becky.
need to know who's taking care of that now. Somebody wants a break.
I can find that out.
okay. Bob has asked that we adjourn. So that's it.